Hello everyone, uh, welcome back to my latest video. Sorry, the lighting is just a bit, there, I'll just turn it a little bit. There, that should do it. So yeah, and welcome back to just another video. And this video wasn't actually planned today because, well, first of all, it's getting dark outside, but then I kind of felt, you know what, I might do the video today because today I'm paying tribute to one of the all-time greatest musicians and one of the more underrated musicians who, shockingly, passed away last night. And that is, of course, Ric Ocasek from the Cars. And I'm in shock still. I mean, I only read it just a few, maybe about an hour ago, and it kind of kicked me in a little bit because I always respected the Cars as one of my favorite artists of all time. And the only albums that I have here to show are all the albums in this original albums series box set. Like the way I have one for Lou Reed and the Monkees. And yeah, and only in 2000 we lost Benjamin Orr. And now 19 years later we get Ric Ocasek's death. But that basically means both singers of the Cars are dead. Which is very tragic. In my mind, it would be like if Ronan Keating from Boyzone died, like the way that Stephen Gately died, which actually was 10 years ago. So I'm gonna just show you these Cars albums that I have, and then I might see what I think of them. The first album, of course, their self-titled debut. I love this album a lot. This has been with me for many years to come. And I like the back cover. And I play this album a lot. I mean, I love it to death. I love, of course, the track My Best Friend's Girl, because obviously it's just a classic. The first time I heard that was on the radio in the car, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And Ric Ocasek's voice, to me, sounds a lot like Jim Kerr, Brian Ferry, and David Bowie in some songs. He's trying to put on those impressions, maybe because he was a fan of both of those three singers. I think Just What I Needed is just an amazing track. Of course, Benjamin Orr sang that one because I wanted to throw it in because also R.I.P. Ben, because his 19th anniversary is coming up now in October, which was the same day that Green Day released their 2000 album Warning, which was I love Don't Just Stop. Rick's voice on that, in my mind, is just so powerful and amazing. And I like his vocal on I'm in Touch with Your World. And even You're All I've Got Tonight, which is cool. And I like, of course, Good Times Roll. Then Moving in Stereo, sung by Ben Orr, is excellent. And then Bye Bye Love and All Mixed Up are okay. But, I mean, I love this record so much. I play this a lot. Then I have, of course, the Candy O album, which was almost as good. I liked it. I like the back cover. And let's see. This one's pretty good. I like, of course, Lust for Kicks. Because I like the keyboard playing by Greg Hawkes. And Greg Hawkes even appeared on some of Ric Ocasek's solo albums. I don't own any of his solo albums in my CD collection. But I might plan on getting them in a few days. Especially the album Beatitude. Because it was his first solo album. Let's see, what else do I like? I love Double Life. That's great that Rick sings on it. And I love, of course, You Can't Hold On Too Long. And I even like some of the songs that Ben sings on, like Let's Go and It's All I Can Do. And I love the whole record. I love this whole record too. The funny thing is though, if people back in the day had a t-shirt with this as the album cover, you'd probably get expelled or maybe suspended from school for a few days. Because I don't know what it is now, but I'm sure principals might let you get away with it. But I don't know. So yeah, I like this record a lot too. Then we have, of course, Panorama. I mean, Panorama is just cool. I like the black and white checkered flag. And then the back cover, as usual, with the band members holding their instruments. Let me see. Or maybe it's just Ben and Rick. Alright, anyway. I love this track, Misfit Kid. Misfit Kid is probably my favourite track on this album. because Ric's voice in that is awesome. And I love Down Boys. And I even like Up and Down, and I even somewhat like Don't Tell Me No. But other than that, I'm not really mad on this record as much as these two. These two I could play a lot, especially this one here. But this one's really good too. And this one is okay. Apart from those songs I've mentioned. I would need to listen to this one again just to reevaluate it. But yeah, I like this one. I do like the song Touch and Go, which is a really good song. So yeah, that's that one. I'm not doing any song associations in this video because someone has died. So I kind of felt it would be a bit of a form of disrespect if I did. Because the video here is to talk about, of course, is to talk about Ric, of course, now that he's sadly no longer with us. You just kind of look at these album covers and you kind of have a bit of a different feel to them now that he's passed on a bit, especially because he was the main lead singer in the band. So yeah. Then we got Shake It Up. This was when they really came back rocking in my mind. And there you go. I love, of course, I love the title song, Shake It Up. That's a really good song. It's very catchy too. But I love the most on here, Victim of Love. It's just incredible. And the way Ric sings it. Ric, in my mind, on that, sounds a hell like David Bowie. And Brian Ferry and Jim Kerr of Simple Minds. Because I think maybe Ric was inspired by those guys. So he kind of said, you know what, I want to make my voice sound a lot like David Bowie, Brian Ferry, and Jim Kerr. So anyway, I like, of course, A Dream Away, which is cool. But I much prefer side 1 to this album than side 2. But yeah, I like the cover of the girl shaking the thing up. That's why it's called Shake It Up. And yeah, this one's good. And then the last one that I have here to show you is, of course, the 1984. And by the way, this was 35 this year. So Ric basically dies on the 35th anniversary of this classic album. I think this album was as big along with this album right here. It is Heartbeat City. If you want to see the track listings, the track listing is just on here. Zoom in. But I can read on the back of the box. So let's see. I love, of course, Drive, the one that is sung by Ben Orr, or Benjamin Orr if you give him his full title. He sings it great. I love, of course, I love You Might Think, and the band Weezer do a cover of that's featured on the Cars 2 soundtrack. And I think Weezer's version is better than the Cars version, I think, overall. And in fact, Ric Ocasek even produced all of Weezer's albums. So that's very interesting. And I think the You Might Think version by Weezer could be featured on the early Roots of the AHSW cover version 68-78 when Wallace played drums. And then perhaps Little Mix could have done that during the LM5 sessions. And now they started the LM5 tour today in Madrid. Been waiting all this year to see what setlist they're playing. So anyway, I love the track Why Can't I Have You on Heartbeat City. And the funny thing was, I thought it was Benjamin Orr singing that one, but then when I read online, it was Ric Ocasek. Because obviously Ben and Ric have different voices, and I kind of felt they had a few similarity voices in between them. So yeah. I like I Refuse on this one. I like the drums by David Robinson. And the title song, Heartbeat City, is okay. But I love, of course, It's Not the Night. That's really good. And Looking for Love and Hello Again and Magic are good. I like the whole album, all 10 songs. I'd probably say these are my 3 favourite Cars albums of all time. This one first, this one second, and then this one third. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, a really good album. And I don't have the 1987 album Door to Door, but I like the first track on it. And Ric was singing on that. Still sounds a lot like Bowie, Brian Ferry, and Jim Kerr. But I kind of liked it. It was the last album with Benjamin Orr, of course. Because then in 1988, they had broken up, you see. And also, Ric did more solo albums. Like he did an album, Fireball Zone. and I think This Side of Paradise, which in my mind is like a similar album title of Ringo's album Postcards from Paradise. And I think he had the album Next Day from 2005. Somebody can correct me in the comment box below. But then, of course, Ben Orr died in 2000, and then 2011 saw the release of the Move Like This album, which only had Rick singing on the entire album, which in my mind would be like Ronan Keating singing on all of the remaining Boyzone albums after the death of Stephen Gately. And then, only yesterday, he then sadly dies, and it was only last year the Cars got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So yeah, that's all I had to say. I just wanted to come on here just to pay a tribute to Ric Ocasek from the Cars, who sadly passed away. Because the Cars did play an important role in my music life, but they didn't really play as big a role to me as Bob Dylan, Kiss, Genesis, Little Mix, Foreigner, and of course the guy in HSW, and a few other people, and perhaps Paul Simon, Leonard Cohen, and James Taylor, and even Simon and Garfunkel, and all those classic artists. Rick is very close. I'd say he's up there, tied with Bruce Springsteen, Rod Stewart, Paul Simon, and Mark Foreigner of Grand Funk Railroad, and even Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and of course Tom Petty. I'd say he's in the same league with those people. And possibly, no, let me think, there might be other people on that as well. And maybe John Anderson from Yes. Because the Cars are definitely in my top 40 favourite artists of all time. I can tell you that. So anyway, I've talked enough on that. Thank you, Rick. Whatever happens, your music in the Cars will still get played, and hopefully tonight Radio Nova will play a Cars album as part of the classic album at midnight as a tribute. But do take into account that today we have the 42nd anniversary of Mark Bolan from T-Rex. They might play a T-Rex album first, then maybe a Cars album tomorrow night, but who knows. So anyway, thank you very much, guys. Leave your comments below on what you guys think of the Cars. My heart goes out to everybody involved, and I shall see you all in the forthcoming days with maybe a few more videos and maybe one more original song that I'm going to upload for you. So anyway, I'll say it again. Thank you, Rick. You might think the Cars might continue without you, but no, they won't, because both singers are gone. Thank you very much, guys. Take care and bye-bye.